Okay, picture this. It's August, 636 CE. We're on the banks of the Yarmouk River, and the desert air is just thick with tension. Two massive armies are staring each other down. And in just a few moments, a battle is going to erupt that won't just stain the sand red, it's going to fundamentally change the entire course of world history.
Those were the chilling words from the Muslim general Khalid ibn al-Walid, spoken directly to his Byzantine counterpart. Now that wasn't just some empty boast. It was a statement of fact. It signaled a kind of fierce determination that the old Roman Empire had never, ever seen before, especially from an army that seemed to have sprung out of the desert from nowhere.
And let's just talk about the numbers here, because they are absolutely staggering. The Byzantine Empire, the direct successor to Rome, brought a massive multinational army of nearly 200,000 soldiers. And facing them, a tiny force of just 24,000 Muslims. Think about that. For every one Muslim soldier, there were nearly 5 heavily armed professional Byzantine warriors. On paper, this isn't even a battle. It's a guaranteed annihilation.
Now, to really get what's happening here, you have to understand the geopolitics of the time. This new, emerging Muslim state was literally caught between a rock and a hard place. Two ancient, bitter rivals, the Byzantine Roman Empire on one side and the Persian Empire on the other. And these two old enemies, fearing this new power rising from the south, did the unthinkable. They actually formed an alliance to crush the Muslims from both sides.
So this sets up this incredible clash of strategies. The Byzantine Emperor Heraclius, he had a classic superpower plan, right? Use your overwhelming numbers and just steamroll your divided enemies. But Khalid's response, well, it was pure genius. He advised a tactical retreat, making it look like the Muslims were on the run. This move let him unite all of his scattered forces, and most importantly, it allowed him to choose the exact piece of ground where this epic battle would be fought. And this is where you see his foresight in action. By getting to the Yarmouk plains first, Khalid picked a spot that gave him every single advantage. He forced the Byzantines to set up camp to the west, which meant every morning they'd have the blinding sun right in their eyes. And what was behind them? A deep, treacherous gorge. A perfect natural trap that cut off any easy path for a retreat. The battle was already being won before a single sword was even drawn. But then, right in the middle of this campaign, something absolutely shocking happens. The new Caliph, Umar, removes Khalid, his undefeated star general, from supreme command. He replaces him with the more cautious Abu Ubaidah. Now, why on earth would you do that? Well, the reason was spiritual. There was this growing belief that victory came from Khalid himself, and the Caliph wanted to remind the army that true victory comes from God alone. Khalid accepted the demotion, but Abu Ubaidah, recognizing Khalid's unmatched genius, basically handed him the reins, giving him full tactical control for the battle to come. So, the battle kicks off on August 15th. It starts with a series of one-on-one duels between champions, which the Muslims win handily. When the main Byzantine army finally advanced, they were just hit with a wall of ferocity they did not expect. The first day ends with neither side really gaining any ground, but the Romans are left completely stunned by the sheer resolve of this much smaller army. Day 2. The Byzantines try a surprise pre-dawn attack, hoping to catch the Muslims off guard during prayers. Big mistake. Khalid was ready. He personally leads his elite cavalry and smashes the Roman assault on the right flank. But over on the left flank, the line starts to buckle under a huge attack. And just when it looks like they might break, the Arab women in the camp grab tent poles, stones, whatever they can find, and they furiously defend their position, shaming the retreating soldiers and inspiring them to get back in the fight. The third day was just a brutal, grinding slugfest. The Byzantines again hammered away at the Muslim right flank, trying to use their massive numbers to just wear them down. But time and time again, Khalid used his mobile cavalry reserve with perfect timing, plugging gaps, counterattacking, repelling every single assault. He was slowly, methodically exhausting that much larger army. Day 4 was the most desperate day of the battle. The Byzantines unleashed a devastating storm of arrows.
and so many Muslim soldiers were struck in the face that the day became known as the Day of Lost Eyes. The line faltered, it started to fall back, and for the second time, seeing the army on the absolute brink of collapse, the women rushed forward again. Their unbelievable bravery inspired the men to rally and hold the line, preventing a total disaster.
All right, so after 4 straight days of just horrific fighting, on the morning of day 5, the Byzantine general sends a messenger. He's offering a truce. Now think about it. The Muslim army is battered, they're exhausted, they're still heavily outnumbered. To a lot of the commanders, a ceasefire at this point sounds like a huge win. So the question is put to Khalid, do we accept?
And this is where Khalid reveals his master plan. He explains that his strategy was never just to defend and hold on. No. The whole 4 days of defensive fighting had been a deliberate trap, designed to wear the enemy down both physically and mentally. The fact that they offered a truce was proof that the Byzantines were breaking. Now, he argued, is the perfect time to attack. So no, there would be no ceasefire.
The 6th and final day starts with some incredible drama. The Greek general, Gregory, challenges the Muslim command to a duel, and Abu Ubaidah, the official commander, accepts. In a swift, cunning fight, Abu Ubaidah actually defeats the famed general. And as Gregory falls, it's the signal Khalid had been waiting for. He immediately orders the entire Muslim army to advance.
And this was it, the masterstroke. First, the main army advances, pulling the whole Byzantine force forward into the fight. Then, 8,000 cavalry that had been hidden behind a hill the night before just explode onto the field, completely crushing the Byzantine rear. At the exact same moment, Khalid slams his forces into their now exposed flank. In the final, brilliant move, a small detachment had already been sent to capture the only bridge, the Romans' only way out. The trap was sprung.
It was total, absolute chaos. The Byzantine army now attacked from 3 sides with their only escape route cut off, completely disintegrated. Panic just took over. Soldiers who weren't cut down on the field fled in terror, only to be trapped by that deep gorge behind them. The battle was over. This was now a slaughter.
The final numbers just paint a brutal picture of the outcome. The Byzantine Empire lost maybe as many as 100,000 men. The Muslim army lost around 4,000. It was one of the most lopsided and decisive victories in all of military history. A true testament to brilliant strategy and sheer will triumphing over numbers.
And in the end, this wasn't just a battle. It was an event that changed the world. In 6 days, 800 years of Roman dominance in the region began to crumble. The Muslims were suddenly established as a new superpower on the world stage. And Khalid's tactics at Yarmouk, they became legendary. They're still studied today in military academies like West Point as a perfect example of generalship.
6 years after this incredible triumph, Khalid ibn al-Walid, the general who had fought in over 100 battles and never lost, lay dying in his bed from an illness, and he wept, lamenting that he wasn't granted the warrior's death he had always sought on the field of battle.
But a companion comforted him with these words, reminding him of his famous title, the Sword of Allah. How, he asked, could a sword drawn by God himself ever be broken by another man in battle? It's just a powerful final thought on a commander whose tactical genius truly did reshape the world.